Yes, I know YouTube will be none too happy with this news article, but this one is important. The Wall Street Journal with a smashing expose exposing Instagram, connecting a vast pedophile network. Yeah, all that stuff they said was conspiracy theories turns out to be true over and over and over again. So we have to wonder why it is that before Elon Musk took over Twitter, they allowed this stuff. They weren't doing anything about it. Elon Musk comes into Twitter and then immediately starts removing this exploitation, abuse, and pedophilia. Instagram not only is hosting it, but actually promoting it in their algorithm. Some of the important things y'all need to know about from the Wall Street Journal. The meta unit system for fostering communities have guided users to pedophile content. Company says it is improving internal controls. Instagram, the popular social media site owned by Meta, helps connect and promote a vast network of accounts openly devoted to the commission and purchase of underage content, according to investigations by the Wall Street Journal and researchers at Stanford University and the University of Massachusetts Amherst. Pedos have long used the internet, but unlike the forums and file transfer services that cater to people who have interests in illicit content, Instagram doesn't merely host these activities. Its algorithms promote them. Instagram connects and guides them to content sellers via recommendation systems that excel at linking those who share niche interests, the journal and the academic researchers found. There's a question around Section 230. At what point is the platform held responsible for hosting these things? Now, I understand Instagram is massive. I use Instagram. And if I was running a platform and somebody was putting this stuff on there without me knowing, it's not intentional, right? But when does Facebook have the duty to intervene? And should they have the duty to actively police their platform? The answer is yes. Here's what I think. I don't know if they are or aren't. I'm assuming Twitter wasn't, because before Elon, they were being notified of this stuff and they weren't doing anything about it. Here's what I think. I think it should be by law. Companies like Facebook either forego Section 230 protections, meaning no more editorialization, open platform for people to use. The people are responsible for what they post and share. Or Facebook must pay for and hire an active policing service to seek out illegal content. Now, I know. They have moderators who do these things. I'm saying it has to be one-upped. It has to be in tandem with law enforcement. Oh, what's that? They don't want to spend the money? That's my point. Facebook doesn't want to spend the money to actively seek this stuff out. And if they don't, then they should not be granted those protections. If Facebook was actively trying to stop these things, I should say Meta, well, then I'd say, look, you can't control every single person. I think the reality is the police need to handle this stuff. They need to go in, and Meta should be taking it all down, but the police should be the one tracking the illegal content down. And I think that platforms should be treated like common carriers. They say, though out of sight for most of the platform, the sexualized accounts on Instagram are brazen about their interest. The researchers found that Instagram enabled people to search explicit hashtags such as pedo. Wow. Jeez, I don't even want to read some of this stuff. It's crazy. Instagram accounts offering to sell illicit material generally don't publish it openly, instead posting menus of content. Certain accounts invite buyers to commission specific acts. Holy crap. Some menus include prices for videos of children harming themselves. Man, wow. Animals. This is insane. The promotion of the content violates rules established by Meta as well as federal law. In response to questions from the journal, Meta acknowledged problems with its enforcement operations and said it has set up an internal task force to address the issues raised. Child exploitation is a horrific crime, the company said, adding, "We're continuously investigating ways to actively defend against this behavior." Meta said it has, in the past 2 years, taken down 27 networks and is planning more removals. Since receiving the journal queries, the platform said it has blocked thousands of hashtags that target children, some with millions of posts, and restricted its system from recommending users search terms known to be associated with the abuse. It said it is also working on preventing the systems from recommending that potentially adults connect with one another, that pedophilic adults connect with. Okay, look, the fact that that the Wall Street Journal found this, there were millions of these posts, I don't buy it. I really just don't buy it. How did Meta not see something as obvious as these overt hashtags? It's explicitly describing this content with millions of posts. They didn't see this. They didn't flag it. They didn't notice. We've been dealing with the internet for a long time. Instagram's been around for a long time. Questions around whether or not social media platforms should have free reign under Section 230 have been around since 2016 or even longer. I mean, you could go back to the 90s when we passed Section 230 of the Telecommunications Decency Act or something like that. I don't buy that they did not know about this. So it makes you wonder. And again, I'll stress, because Twitter was warned and Twitter didn't take action, I wonder if they're only taking action now because it's in the press. Alex Stamos, the head of Stanford Internet Observatory, not that I trust Stanford, and Meta's chief security officer until 2018, said that getting even obvious abuse under control would likely take a sustained effort. Yes, it would. That a team of 3 academics with limited access could find such a huge network should set off alarms at Meta. He said, noting that the company has far more effective tools to map its network than outsiders do. I hope the company invests in human investigators. Technical and legal hurdles make determining the full scale of the network hard for anyone outside Meta to measure precisely. Because the law around child content is extremely broad, investigating even the open promotion of it on a public platform is legally sensitive. Yeah, absolutely. In its reporting, the journal consulted with academic experts on online child safety. Stanford's Internet Observatory division of the university's Cyber Policy Center focused on social media abuse, produced an independent quantitative analysis of the Instagram features that helped users connect and find content. The journal also approached UMass's Rescue Lab, which evaluated how these abusers on Instagram fit into a larger ecosystem of online exploitation using different methods. Both entities were able to quickly identify large-scale communities promoting abuse. I just don't buy that they didn't know about this. Test accounts set up by researchers that viewed a single account in the network were immediately hit with suggested for you recommendations of buyers and sellers. Jeez, man. As well as accounts linking to off-platform content trading sites. Following just a handful of these recommendations was enough to flood a test account with content that abuses children. So when you see these groomers in schools, and you see the shared ideology of people on the left, when you see who is running Silicon Valley, I think it is fairly obvious to say there is a potentiality for intent behind who's working at Meta. Sorry, you can't play that game with me. You have these people going to schools. That teacher I mentioned in the previous segment who brought a book to children to teach them how to use adult anonymous gay sex apps. A teacher at a middle school in Illinois was teaching kids this stuff. And they lie. They lie in the media about what they're doing. So you mean to tell me these same people, the same ideology that are working in Silicon Valley aren't doing this on purpose? Don't buy it. I'm not saying everybody at Meta knew or was involved, but these infiltrator psychopathic leftists, they harbor this ideology. They harbor people with these behaviors, criminal actions. We got deep problems in this country and the world, mind you. This is crazy. A Meta spokesman said the company actively seeks to remove such users, taking down 490,000 accounts for violating its child safety policies in June alone. Instagram is an on-ramp to places on the internet where there's more explicit abuse, said Brian Levine, director of UMass Rescue Lab, which researches online child victimization and builds forensic tools to combat it. Levine is an author of the 2022 report for the National Institute of Justice, the Justice Department's research arm on internet child exploitation. Instagram, estimated to have more than 1.3 billion users, is especially popular with teens. The Stanford researchers found some similar sexually exploitative activity on another similar smaller social platform, but they said they found the problem on Instagram is particularly severe. The most important platform for these networks and of buyers and sellers seems to be Instagram. They go on quite a bit and talking about what they found, but I think I kind of hit the nail on the head here. They go to mention people who are targeting this stuff and trying to help kids. The takeaway from this story, yeah, it's real. Epstein was real. Twitter, what was going on Twitter? It's real. And they try to cover it up and they lie. Powerful people in government don't want you to know what is happening on these platforms. They don't want you to know what is happening in these schools. But y'all better start paying attention because these people are evil. This is demonic stuff. And I mean that figuratively, not literally. You say something like demonic and they're like, he believes in weird creatures. And like, I'm saying figuratively, these are evil people of their hearts are made of sludge. And it's horrifying, man. Look on the Wall Street Journal for working to uncover this stuff. And we better see Instagram start taking this stuff down. That's what they're saying they're doing. But I just got to warn all of you. Don't be surprised when you find it in other places. It's entering your schools now. I will stress it again. That teacher was trying to teach these 10-year-olds, these middle schoolers, how to use adult anonymous gay sex apps. What do you think is going on in these places? You got to know what's going on with your kids, man. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up at 6 p.m. on this channel. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.